Hey people, welcome back. Doc again. This time, part 4 of the cb400T, hopefully rebuild. I've got a few parts back from Fleabay, so we're going to have a look, do some unwrapping, fit the new parts and take it from there. Welcome back. Right, let's have a look at what we got. I'm trying to do this and keep him in focus. So basically we got the throttle body, throttle tube attached, starter and kill switch, and lights. That's what we were missing. No cables attached, but we've got the all important multi-plug. This one, we've got a pair of new spark plugs. We've got a new pull throttle cable. I've got a push or a return on order, and I've got a new choke cable on order, so I'm just waiting for them to come back. And also the one thing that I've been trying to source and find, and they're like gold dust basically, is a replacement used starter motor. I've been assured and guaranteed that it is working. I have tested it on the bench and it is running. Even came with the fitting bolts. So we'll have a quick look at the board and then we can start fitting these new parts. Here we are. Today's mission on episode 4 is going to be to fit the new starter, fit the throttle cable and the throttle body, fit the new spark plugs, and then hopefully we can get to the point where we can just test to see if we've got a spark. Our costings are, so far we're up to £21. We've got a starter motor again on a Fleabay. I had that for £17 on bids. I had a throttle body for £12. I had a throttle cable, brand new, £6.50, absolute bargain. Set of plugs, £7 for plugs. Today's shopping came to £42.50. So total spend so far is £63.50. Hopefully that's going to take us up to the point where we can see if we've got a spark and maybe even try for a little fire. But we'll have a look. Stay tuned. Right, back we are. I think because I'm so excited about this replacement starter motor, I think we'll start with the starter. So I'll make a start on that, fit in the new starter as the start to the start. Is that enough starts? So anyway, come on, down here. I'm going to have to prop you down on the floor. Hope my phone don't fall over because I am recording this all with my phone. So we've got the starter. There's an O-ring, as you can see on the starter. Always make sure that that's in good repair. So fixing holes, go in the corresponding threaded holes there and there, and then the main body of the starter fits into the actual bellows in there. So it's going to be a push in, but I don't want to go too far. So obviously I want to make sure that these fixing points are lined up, which they are. You've got, that's where the power cable is going to attach to. So let's just get these pinched up by hand first. One. Like I say, it's a bit awkward for me because I'm trying not to get in the way of the camera, but still be able to see what I'm actually doing at the same time. We get it. Ooh, look, my beard's in the focus. Right. 10mm spanner. I'm not going to crank on them. There's no need at the moment. We're only getting it in just to spin the engine, just to see if I get any spark or not. Now again, on the bottom of the starter, you'll see you've got 2 nuts where the power lead fits to. Only undo the first nut. There's no need because you want to clamp it between the two nuts. If you undo that back nut, there's a chance that you can spin this inside the starter and wreck the field. So only undo the first nut, put the cable on, like so, put the nut back on. Now I haven't got to worry about it shorting out or anything at the moment because there's no battery fitted to the bike. I've had it on charge, so once we got this tightened up, and again, don't crank on it. If you are going to tighten him tight, then put another spanner at the back nut, hold that, and then tighten the front. I'm only going to do this just pinched up, just so we can test the spin of the engine. Like I said, I know it's free from the kickstart, but I want to see if I get any spark. Right, so that's the starter fitted. So I think the next thing we'll jump onto is throttle cable, throttle body, which is up top, and then we'll fit the battery, fit the spark plugs, and have a look. Okay, see you in a minute. Alright, just to make it easier for myself, the carbs was only held on with one bolt each side loosely anyway, so I just taken the bolts out just to bring the carbs forward, just to make it easier for me to route the cable. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see much of this. I'll try. Basically, where are we? That's where the cable needs to be seated and then routed up over the top. So look, if I can get, trying to do this again and not be in the way of the camera. Right, that went fairly easy. So look, that needs now to come up through the guide, and then that's trapped in the guide. The clutch cable, the choke cable, like you say, that's loose and made in at the moment. There's a new one on order for that. So basically I need to go in, trap him in that guide with the two nuts. So just push him in, pinch the nuts up just to hold him in there, and then I'll allow you to adjust on that cable then as well. So I'll feed these back through. That's just, like I say, that's the choke cable will come off. I'm not too bothered about that at the moment. It's just the throttle cable I was more concerned with, so I can have a little bit of throttle just to check. So we can get these bolts in. Again, I'm trying to stay out of the way so that you can see kind of what I'm doing. There's one hand tight. I'll go around the other side, tighten that up. Maybe a bit boring for you if you can't see what I'm doing. These are not connected to the A box at the moment, because again, there's quite a few bits missing. There's rubber baffles go between, or tubes. So they're on my to look for list on Fleabay. But I may just put, like a lot of people have done, I noticed on some of the forums, they've taken away the A box itself and they've used the little small A cones, the A filters, the little cone filters. They look nice as well and gives it a little bit more of a throaty sound. So I may look at doing that, but again, everything is all dealt with if we got spark or not. If the engine's no good, then we'll just park the bike out. Right, both sides are done up hand tight to now, that's good enough. Next up is we get the throttle body, put that in, click it into the wiring loom and see what happens when we put a battery on. Okay, welcome back. So I've managed to, I can just get things lined up ready for you. I've got the cable now fed through, ready to go. I've got throttle body. I've taken the 2 screws out underneath. I'll take off the actual throttle itself and just slip that on the stem ready, because I know that this front, the pull cable goes on the front of the throttle body housing. It threads into the actual housing itself. The back one, the actual housing itself turns. So we put that on, thread him on. This is where you can get a little bit fiddly because you've got 6 things to do. I could put the screws back in the housing, I suppose, to make it a little bit easier for myself. But that would be like easy, too easy then, wouldn't it? Of course it would. Struggle shown. So there we go. It's just threading itself on. Put the cables out of the way, like so. And that's going to sit kind of like that. Now you can tighten the nut up just to adjust as well. So now we need to sit that over the actual throttle, locate the cable, which has got to go on the first hole. So you've got a front and a back. So looks like different size holes as well. So the nice people at Honda have even thought of that for you. So it's a bit fiddly, just get him in the hole, and then there's a little guide to go through. Put the body up in. That's alright, like so. Click him over, to get everything lined up. It can be a bit fiddly to get everything in the right orientation. I think we've got it. So quick check, make sure that's releasing. I can hear the opening the butterfly on the carbs. So we'll put 2 screws in. And it's long screw at the front. See, I've got a screwdriver in my pocket. Let's get this lined up. There he is. Short screw at the back. Short screw is going to put tension on. And keep the actual housing closed. Now some of these housings will have a little spur inside that'll lock into a part of the handlebar and stop them from turning, but generally the clamp itself is enough to stop. Yeah, I'm going to go dogging down on it. As you can hear now, that is returning nice and back, snappy on its own. That's without the second cable, the actual return cable on, but that's snapping nice as it is, which I'm happy with. That's good enough for me. So next is we'll feed this cable down through the back of the headlight, connect to the red connector, and then we can put the battery on and have a look. So I'll drop you down a little bit lower now so that you'll be able to see going through the headlight. There you are, you lucky people, you. Right, so try them there. Right, so I'm just gonna feed this down. Like I say, I'm not worried about it being neat or anything at the moment. This is purely to see if everything is working. So if I can't get this through without much fiddling, which I don't think I will be able to at the moment, but there we are. Have I got enough cable on there? That's going to be a bit tight. So until I route all that, I'm just going to plug this on the outside for now. goes into the red. Snap connector. You've got auxiliary leads here as well for lights, earth, which I don't think we're going to be using on this model. Next up is battery, change the spark plugs, and then we can have a look at a light up. So I'll move you around again, fit the battery, change the spark plugs, go from there. Okie dokie. Right, we got our battery. This is just an old battery I've had bumping around the shop. This is, I've charged him up, so we've got a nice full battery now. So I'm just going to pop on the terminal. Again, there's a lot of talk about, oh, you should put the live on then the earth, oh, you should put the earth on then the live. Basically, once you put either live or earth on, you're going to be making contact with the other lead anyway, so it's kind of, I don't know, up in the air really as to which one you should really put on first. If there's any auto electricians out there who want to comment below to let me know, please do. I'd love to be told by the correct person which goes first. Black, red, live, positive. What's your thoughts on it, people? Just let me know. Right, batteries, again, it's too big for there, but it's only as a temporary measure. Next up is spark plugs. If I can move you around to there. Put the lead. Now these are only hand tight because I've had them out, and I've squirted just a touch of oil down into the cylinder, and I've cranked it over with the starter, the kick start, a few times just to get a little bit of lubrication. I have checked the oil in the engine and it is goopy as hell, but I'm not planning on running this for any length of time, so it'll do for now. Why pay £25 to replace the oil and filter when the bike not even run? So I've checked numbers, I've checked gaps already, so we can put the new spark plugs in. In fact, we leave them out and we'll check for spark. So we leave that one out. I'll go and swap the other side over, then we can come back and see if we got any spark at all. So again, just pop the cap off. Like I said, I've had these out before, so they're not in there tight. That's that one out. New one just pushed in to the plug lead. So I'll then hand up the phone now, bring you up top, see if we have any lights or disco going on with the right. Okay, so you were basically going to see what I'm seeing now. I haven't pre-tried this, I haven't done any fiddling, pocketing. So I've got a kill switch to run. I've got the new ignition barrel and key ready. I've got my spark plugs set up. So let's test the electricals to start with. Again, it's awkward one-handed, but right, so we've got neutral light and I think the oil light, so we can check indicators, back, front and dash, back, dash, front, back. Yeah, we've got tail lights and brake lights. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flick the engine over on the start button, not testing lights because obviously I've got nothing wired up to the headlight yet. So let's have a look, see if we got a spark. Yep, start was good. Sparking off there. I'm getting a good spark off each plug. So what I'm tempted to do next is put a little drop of petrol down in each cylinder, put the spark plugs back in and just give it a little bump, see what happens. I'll set it up on the tripod, get everything set, and then we'll have a look. Right, I've rigged up, just if I can get this in shot, makeshift siphon at the moment off the carbs. I've sprayed a little carb cleaner in there. I'm going to put some petrol in. I think the battery is no good, I think the battery's knackered. I've had the lights on and working, but they're dimming back out, so I don't think they're up to much. So I'm just gonna, I filled the bowls up already. They don't seem to be leaking. So I'm going to give it a few kicks and we'll have a look. I've got the choke cable tied off at the moment just to get it out of the way. Can I do this without spilling much petrol? That would be a no. Let me sort this petrol out a minute. We've got quite a bit of water coming out of the exhaust too with the look of it. That's only to be expected really, after 20 years. So look. Oops, doesn't want to go yet. Let's open the choke out a bit. Try that ignition on, that would help. So we'll try. Wish me luck. Yeah, getting there. Come on. That's good enough for me, she's a runner. Woo. Awesome. Right, so I'll wrap it up with that for this video. It's getting late now. Be video 5 next. See what we can do, if we can get it running tidy. I'll put some proper oil in, change the filter out. As you can see, temperature's dropping in here as well now, so awesome. She's running so far.